Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Robin van Persie turns down the opportunity to work as a coach with Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. Robin van Persie prefers sticking with his job at Feyenoord. Erik ten Hag has said that he wanted to bring Robin van Persie to Man United as part of his backroom staff. Manchester United are close to appointing Erik ten Hag as the new permanent manager. Manchester United will only have to pay 1.6 million in compensation. A couple of weeks ago, Erik ten Hag got interviewed for the Manchester United job, and he told Man United chiefs he needs 5 years to overhaul the club. Ten Hag targets 3 Premier League players. That's Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Ruben Neves. Ralph Rangnick wants Erik ten Hag to become Man United's next permanent manager. There's also a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see him get recommended in. It would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, he's developed the young players well. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles. He's won some Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. He got appointed as the Ajax manager back in December 2017, so he's been the manager of Ajax for over 4 years. His contract expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht, and before he's managed Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. There's still a lot of rumours coming out about Mauricio Pochettino. Not so long ago, Wayne Rooney told Man United to go and get Pochettino. You know, the vast majority of Manchester United players want Pochettino as the next manager. Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial because before he managed Tottenham and Southampton. Pochettino did enjoy a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Revert back to 2018, he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. At one point, he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. And when he was as manager of Southampton, he guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League, and he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them. Pochettino is the PSG manager. He's been the PSG manager for over a year. He's won a French Cup with them. His contract expires next year. Not so long ago, it said he sees himself at PSG for a very long time. He's been under pressure at PSG, but despite that wants to stay at PSG. Don't forget, may have to pay 17 million if they decide to sack Pochettino. Revert back to when Man United sacked Mourinho, though Man United should have really got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. You know, Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. You know, Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired, even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club. So the managers we've sacked since Ferguson, we sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Man United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ralph Rangnick will only work 6 days a month when he begins a consultancy role. Not so long ago, Austrian FA denied making an approach for Ralph Rangnick. It did say that the sporting director, Peter Schottel, flew to Manchester and held talks with Rangnick. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over 3 months now. It initially said he's Man United's interim manager until the end of the season, then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. He has lost 4 games in all competitions as Man United's interim manager, and he's drawn a lot of games as the interim manager. Before Man United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. He's only enjoyed 1 transfer window at Man United and unfortunately didn't get backed in the January transfer window this year. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said his aim for this season is for Man United to finish in the top 4. I'm very sceptical we'll finish in the top 4 this season. I reckon Tottenham will get the top 4. Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. And in the last 10 years, we've spent over 1.3 billion. And Man United, since Ferguson, have brought over 40 players in. And let me put into the equation, Rangnick has been inheriting other players from other managerial eras, so none of this squad is his. You know, Man United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and you know, a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Alex Ferguson was greatest manager of all time. He brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson was the Man United manager for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish, and at that time, Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. Ferguson retired from Man United almost 10 years ago now. And I don't like the way the football club has been run for a long time. We've got to get the Glazers out of the club. The Glazers have owned Man United for a long time now. The Glazers have owned Man United for around 17 years. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. quite a few weeks ago it says the Glazers were planning to demolish Old Trafford, and I said at the time, should Old Trafford get demolished? It said Man United were looking to upgrade the stadium, was looking to increase the capacity in that to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. It's the second biggest stadium in England. Wembley's the biggest stadium in England. Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. Earlier on this year, Man United recommended Richard Arnold in as the new chief executive. He replaced Ed Woodward. It was good news from Man United perspective that Woodward stepped down, because he was one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. He was Man United's chairman for around 17 years. Now, in the summer of this year, I'm expecting Man United to make signings. This summer we'll try and sign a midfielder and a striker. On the other side of things, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club this summer. So this summer, I reckon Dean Henderson will leave. You know, Henderson is our second choice goalkeeper, doesn't really get in goal. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. I'm expecting Phil Jones and Eric Bailly to leave the club this summer, because they don't really get in the team. I think we'll offload Harry Maguire this summer. It said the other week that Harry Maguire's Man United future is in doubt. It said Man United are prepared to sell Maguire. And the other week he got booed for England. I can't understand how Harry Maguire is still Man United captain. A lot of United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire, especially throughout the course of this season. But earlier on this season, Rangnick said Maguire will remain Man United captain until the end of the season. Man United definitely overpaid for him, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and is the second most expensive sign at the club, behind Pogba. He's been at Man United for over 2 years now, and he's enjoyed quite a few injuries since he came in. We could look to sell Wan-Bissaka in the summer as well, because he's not good enough. Plus, he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick. You know, Diego Dalot's our first choice right back under Rangnick. Good chance that Paul Pogba will be leaving Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Not so long ago, it said from the Manchester Evening News that PSG made an offer to Pogba. The Man United dressing room believe Pogba's gone, and Wayne Rooney backed Pogba to leave. You know, some Premier League clubs have been in for Pogba. His former club Juventus have been in for him. Real Madrid have been in for him as well. So he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Pogba is a good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. He's had good games at United since he re-signed. Earlier on this season, he was out with injury for a while. Well, he's had quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club, so you can say he's injury prone. Man United paid 89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive sign at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. This season has been his 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's played over 200 games. Matic, he'll leave this summer. He's out of contract this summer. He isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he has been given his opportunities, and he's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for 40 million, so he has been a United player for around 5 years now. Donny van de Beek and Martial, I think there's a very good chance that they'll leave permanently this summer. At the moment, Van de Beek's out on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Lingard will leave this summer. Lingard should have left in January, but Man United blocked his exit. Lingard's out of contract in the summer. He has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy and that, but he doesn't really get in the team, does he? At the second half of last season, he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham, did Lingard. Juan Mata, he'll leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. He's had a good career at Man United, doesn't matter. He's been at Man United for 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014, got him for 37.1 million. Mata doesn't get in the team now, does he? He lost his place in the team a while ago. Edison Cavani, there's a very good chance he'll be leaving this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. The last time I read up, it said Cavani was close to agreeing a move to Real Sociedad. He said he held talks with them. He's also been linked to a move to Brazil. Cavani's out with injury at the moment. He's not available for the game against Everton tomorrow lunchtime. He had a groin injury as well not so long ago. He's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Rashford, he could possibly leave this summer, but reports have said today that Manchester United want Marcus Rashford to stay at the club this summer, despite his wretched run of form. Don't forget, Rashford dropped out of the starting lineup against Leicester last weekend. Earlier on this season, Rashford told his friends he wants to quit Man United this summer. And Romano said earlier on this season that Rashford was considering his future with Man United as he was concerned about his lack of playing time. His contract at Man United expires next year. I think Rashford's a good player overall, but he has endured a lot of poor games this season. He's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. And earlier on this season had the minor leg injury. He's been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and broke into our senior squad back in 2016. And since then he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. Lee Grant's another one who will be leaving, I think, this summer. He's, our 4th choice goalkeeper. So there. Manchester United, as you all know, play Everton tomorrow at Goodison Park. It is a 12:30 kickoff. I've already given you my preview and that for the game. Not so long ago I gave you my score prediction, and on my last video I give you my predicted 11. Man United will be going into the game on the back of a 1-1 draw with Leicester. Like I said, we've got some players missing for tomorrow. Cavani's missing, Luke Shaw's missing, McTominay's missing, and Varane is injured again. Everton, they recently lost 3-2 to Burnley, and they lost last weekend to West Ham 2-1. Everton are in big trouble. They're near the relegation zone. Everton could go down. Everton have a bad manager in Frank Lampard. I'm expecting Everton to sack Frank Lampard, especially if they get relegated this season. Frank Lampard has been the Everton manager for over 3 months. Everton appointed him in back in January this year. He's got a contract with Everton until 2024. Before Frank Lampard managed Chelsea, he got sacked from Chelsea last season, and before then he managed Derby. You know, before Frank Lampard, Everton had Rafa Benitez. Everton sacked him earlier on this season. Before then, they had Carlo Ancelotti. I thought Everton should have kept Ancelotti because they were consistent under him. There again, though, Carlo Ancelotti left Everton to make a return to Madrid, and before as well, they had Duncan Ferguson as temporary boss. He's enjoyed 2 spells at Everton manager, and at one point they had Marco Silva, the sacked him. A while ago, they had Roberto Martinez. You know, they were very good under him. And they had David Moyes a long time ago. David Moyes did endure 11 years as the Everton manager, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. And, you know, I do know a lot of the players that Everton have got. You know, they've got Andros Townsend. Andros Townsend is out with injury at the moment. Everton got Andros Townsend from Crystal Palace. Demarai Gray. Anthony Gordon, he's a midfielder. Solomon Rondon, he's a forward. Andre Gomez, he's a midfielder. He's injured at the moment. He's injury prone, is Gomez, because he has endured quite a few injuries as an Everton player. Dele Alli, Everton got him from Tottenham in January. They've got Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek is on loan at Everton from Man United. Everton have no option to buy Van der Beek at the end of the loan. Van der Beek's out with injury at the moment. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a very good striker. He's probably the best player that Everton have got. Don't forget, Man United were linked with him a while ago. They have Richie Arlington as well. That's a good attacking player. Decore, Everton got him from Watford. Alex Iwobi, he's a former Arsenal player. Allen, he's good. Everton got him from Napoli. Not so long ago, Allen was suspended. Ben Godfrey, he's good. Everton got him from Norwich. Fabian Delph, former Aston Villa player. Tom Davies, he's out with injury at the moment. Yerry Minna's one of the centre-halves Everton have got. He's out with injury. Michael Keane's a defender. Don't forget, he's a former Manchester United player. Mason Holgate. Seamus Coleman, he'd come back from injury not so long ago. Everton's first choice goalkeeper is Jordan Pickford. I don't highly rate Jordan Pickford. He's had his good moments as Everton's goalkeeper. He's done well for England before. He did very well in the 2018 World Cup. Everton have another goalkeeper called Asmir Begovic, and they've got one called Andy Lonergan. Let me put into the equation that Everton have lost players. You know, they lost Lucas Dean back in January. Lucas Dean went to Aston Villa from Everton. They lost Moise Keane, he's now at Juventus. They lost James Rodriguez, Bernard, Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott's at Southampton. Lost Leighton Baines as well. And let me put into the equation, Man United have done transfer business with Everton before. You know, a long time ago, got Rooney off them. Back in 2017, got Lukaku off them. And back in 2013, got Fellaini off them. The last time Man United played at Goodison Park in the Premier League, Man United won 3-1. It was a draw between Man United and Everton at Old Trafford earlier on this season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.